call it meeting of Jasper Board of Mayor and Aldermen to order. And if everyone would please stand, Brother Billy Watkins will lead us in prayer and pledge.
Let's bow together. Father in heaven, we thank you so much for the many ways you have blessed this wonderful country and this wonderful valley in which we live. Tonight, as this board meets together and they discuss issues, we ask that everyone may be calm-spirited, clear-headed, respectful of each other, and that the meeting will go smoothly and well, and decisions will be made that will be best for everyone involved. Father, we thank you so much for those who have served this country in the military and the various first responders, and for those that are in harm's way. We especially pray your protection on them and your hand to be with their families while they are away. Father, help us to always look to you for wisdom and guidance in our lives. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll now open the public hearing for ordinance number 376 on pit bulldogs, and I'm going to read a little statement here before we get started. And appreciate everyone coming out tonight. We have a long agenda, and I ask everyone to be considerate and patient. I want to clarify that the town is not going to take away any dogs. We will not come into your home and search it without a search warrant. You will be required to have a $100,000 liability insurance, not $1 million that's been put out there, and your proof of vaccination. So we have 5 people signed up to speak tonight. They'll each have 5 minutes to make their point, their speech, and then the other one will take over. So we also, Mark April Bowden had requested to 3 minutes, and so at the end of the 5 people, she will have 3 minutes to get her point across. So the ordinance did not happen overnight. It's been a couple of months or so in planning. So, and the MTAS with the Municipal Technical Advisory Service has provided us with a draft, and this draft is, it's been upheld in court that they sent us. We also looked at the ordinances around. Ours is not as stiff as some of them around, so I feel like we have a good ordinance for our citizens. So that being said, the first person is Jessica Huggins.
I've never done this before, so
Me.
I'm talking to you.
Talk to the board.
Okay. I'm Jessica Huggins. I have lived here my entire life. 36 years. I purchased a home 14 years ago in Jasper. My whole family is here. I got involved in rescue in general about 15 years ago. I focused about 12 years ago on the pit bull breed specifically because they need people who understand them. They need responsible people who understand. They're overbred, they're overpopulated. I get that. That doesn't mean that they're all bad. In the last 12 years, I have had probably 25 to 30 pit bull type dogs or mixes in my home, none of which have been relocated or rehomed to this county. They've gone elsewhere. I've never been harmed or injured by any dog in my home. I have a fenced-in yard. They're not outside without me. I have made the difficult decision to euthanize some dogs due to behavior issues because I feel like as a responsible owner, that's what you do. You don't place that blame on somebody else. You don't put somebody else in harm. I had 2 mastiffs of my own. I fostered one mastiff who attacked me and literally tried to kill me. At the time, people asked me what I intended to do with my two dogs, and I honestly could not comprehend why they would ask such a question when it was his individual behavior, not theirs. That taught me, again, it's the individual dog's behavior. I can't afford a $100,000 liability insurance policy, and my dogs have never caused a single problem. That's my issue with this. I have a fenced-in yard that I purchased, that I got out there with friends and dug and put up myself. And my dogs do not go out in that yard unless I'm home. And most of the time, I'm outside with them. They're supervised, they're my companions. I think Jasper can take this and set an example as to what we can better do as far as focusing on responsible ownership. We have an ordinance in place. Can we figure out how to make that stricter or stricter enforce that? You know, what happens if you ban all pit bulls and then you've got German Shepherds or Labs or whatever other breed causing a problem? I'm just asking you to consider the fact that dogs are individuals and evaluate them as such. I do have some information I would like to give all of you, if that's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I think there are responsible owners in this town, but I do realize there are some that are not. And I think that's where the focus needs to be, is on the people who are not responsible and not taking care of their dogs. There are over 20 states now in the United States that actually ban any type of breed-specific legislation because it's so costly to the taxpayers and it's not effective. So I hope you will consider that. I think I've got 5 copies.
We need 6. When I
Okay,
can make a
well,
copy. I can make a
I've
copy.
got
for you.
5 of the same thing.
Okay.
And you know, a lot of the national organizations now even push more towards breed neutral laws and putting the focus on the owner and not the individual dog or the individual breed. You don't lump them all together. You know, I get there are some bad dogs of any breed, but that's the owner's fault. And they need to be responsible for that. I don't let my dogs roam. My dogs don't cause the city no having problem. And I would like to continue to live here. But if this ordinance passes, I won't.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll get them all. I'll take them tomorrow. Thank you, Jessica. Next one, Erica. Thank you.
I'm just gonna touch on more of the specifics that Jessica mentioned about breed-specific legislation in other areas. As a citizen of Jasper, I believe our community should be protected against any dangerous dogs, regardless of the breed. I think abused or neglected animals should be protected from abusive owners, and I believe that owners and dogs should be judged based on their individual behavior. All owners should be held accountable for the actions of their dogs. Singling out a specific breed leaves a large portion of the population unaccountable, leading to unsafe communities. Experts agree that breed is not an accurate predictor of behavior, even among purebred dogs. There is no evidence that breed-specific legislature has had any impact on dog bites. The American Bar Association urges all state, territorial, and local legislative bodies and government agencies to adopt comprehensive, breed-neutral, dangerous dog, reckless owner laws that ensure due process, protection for owners, encourage responsible ownership, and focus on the behavior of both the dog owners and the dogs. The American Kennel Club opposes any legislation that determines a dog to be dangerous based on specific breeds or classes of dogs. The Center for Disease Control recommends against using breed as a factor in dog bite prevention and policy that states any dog of any breed has the potential to bite. Research shows that breed-specific laws are highly ineffective and often a waste of public resources. that interfere with responsible pet owners' property rights and quickly become a burden on local governments and a waste of tax dollars. The majority of pet dogs are loved, cared for members of someone's family. Responsible owners should be able to own any dog they like, regardless of breed, without the government interfering with their property rights. It is arbitrary and unfair to break up families, traumatize children, and spend taxpayer money to ban or restrict dogs solely based on their alleged breed, without consideration of behavior or facts. I feel it's a better use of public resources to enforce our existing laws and prosecute and penalize negligent or reckless owners who do not only abuse man's best friend, but put their community at risk. We all want to live in a safe community, and I believe focusing our attention and evaluating and enforcing current laws is a better solution than any breed-specific legislation. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, we're not taking anyone's dog away from them. You're going to have that dog till the day it dies. So, you know, we're not taking it away from them. And you know, I'm a dog lover. I've had an English Bulldog for 21 years. And so, 2 dogs, one 13, one 9. So, we've taken in strays, we've had them all. But they, you know, I'm a responsible owner. Jessica's a responsible owner. But there's a lot out here that are not, and it makes it bad. And I have a lot of information also. I've done my research on this too. But you know, remember, we're not taking anyone's dog away from them. You know, it's a part of the family. I'm telling you, it was like losing a child when we lost our our English Bulldog. And so we're not taking it away from anybody. And please understand that. Next is Laura Turner.
So thank you all for allowing me to speak tonight. My name is Laura Turner. I'm a citizen of Jasper. I've lived here since I was 4 years old. I hold a degree in economics, professional studies, and am presently pursuing an MBA. And I'm a dog owner. Understanding that ordinances do not take into consideration how they will be paid for when they are written, the questions I have are assuming that the mayor and aldermen voting yes to this ordinance at the first reading have used the last month to look at the cost of actually enforcing this ordinance. Gentlemen, I understand that there is one animal control officer in the city of Jasper who also heads the Parks and Recreation Division of our beautiful city. I live near the city park and have seen the beautiful additions and upgrades to the park in the past few years and see the increase in traffic due to out-of-towners enjoying the ball tournaments as well as local families watching their children practice and play. Will someone else be hired to take on the responsibilities of enforcing it? Or will the animal control person yield his position in Parks and Recreation to handle all the extra duties? How much will it cost to provide overtime for the animal control officer or an annual salary for a new person? How much will training cost for the present animal control officer to identify the dog specified or train a new officer? What facilities are available in Jasper now to house confiscated animals? How many animals will be held there and at what cost per animal at this time? Has it been estimated how many pit bull type dogs that there are in Jasper, which will be confiscated each month and at what cost? I did some research myself and there are 69 pit bulls in Jasper. What happens to those animals of any breed that are confiscated when the current facilities are full? Right now Jasper claims that it has a no-kill. Will it always be a no-kill if it's full and other animals are confiscated? If there is a nonprofit who is helping place animals, which we know there is, what happens if they cannot place those animals? What is the cost of euthanizing each animal? How many animals are estimated to require euthanasia each month due to the new breed-specific ordinance if passed? What upgrades will be made to the current facility and at what cost? Are the present kennels up to the specifications listed that are required of the dog owners of registered pit bull animals? When an owner contends that their dog is not a pit bull type dog, how much will that test cost that is admissible in court? How much will the court cost be per case? As the city attorney is also a judge in Marion County, who will defend the city in those cases? At what cost? Who will be responsible for keeping records, which will be required to to remain in full compliance with state regulations of animal control when a dog is euthanized? How many man-hours a month will that take to register any animals with the state recorder, and at what cost? Who will handle the animal control calls regarding this ordinance, if the city police are required to answer that call? If there is an accident or critical situation in another part of the city, what will take priority? Where does this increased cost fit into the budget? What is the estimated loss of revenue from out-of-town visitors who would like to lodge in Jasper and want to bring their beloved pit bull type companions or service animals, but discover Jasper is no longer dog friendly? Regarding the leash law already in place in Jasper, how much does it cost to enforce that? Are we enforcing it now? Does this leash law already provide the control of running animals and owners of all dog breeds who do not have control of their animals? What about that $500 fine that's included in the city charter for that? Where's that money going? What happens to the animals which are confiscated? When a stray is adopted at this time at the city pound, is it spayed or neutered prior to its release, as is required by state law? At what cost to the city? How much are the adoption fees at the pound now? Where does that money go? Are there any outside agencies helping Jasper with animal control or the disposition of stray animals now? If so, please estimate the percentage of work that is done by these agencies and estimate the actual value of these services if Jasper was taking care of 100% of the stray animals here. Are the city animal control laws regarding vicious dogs being enforced in Jasper? What is the definition of a vicious dog? How many vicious dogs have there been disposed of in the city of Jasper in the past year? That's a lot of questions. I'm left with a lot of questions on this. I challenge you gentlemen to take a very honest look at the cost of enforcing an ordinance which restricts one specific breed, there's 69 in Jasper, versus actually enforcing laws already in place in Jasper to control running and vicious animals. There are 966 dogs estimated in Jasper right now, 69 of which are pit bulls. According to my estimate, the passing of this ordinance will cost the city of Jasper a minimum of $100,000 the first year. That's counting the upgrades to the facility as well as any extra salaries. This figure is disturbing to me, as I've seen much progress in the past few years. Pardon?
That's 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Jim Roberts.
How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Now, thank you for the opportunity to present my feelings about this. When we moved to Jasper last year, all we wanted was a nice house, fenced yard. Wanted a dog to keep us company and just to live in peace. Last August, we got us a mixed breed puppy from the Humane Shelter. Her name is Macy, and she's now a cherished member of our family. My research on her appearance and mannerisms indicates she's possibly, hopefully, we don't know yet, American Bulldog and Irish Setter. But I've had folks look at her and say, that dog's got more than half dead in her. I don't know. So the only way to find out is to do a DNA test kit, and we've done that. We don't know the results yet, so we're hoping for the best. We hope it works out for Macy. Macy hopes so too. She doesn't like a muzzle. My family believes that implementing pit bull specific ordinances is wrong for the following reasons. Jasper already has ordinances in place to take care of free running or vicious dogs. We just need to enforce them. If we need to enhance current ordinances, okay, fine. It seems like vicious dogs seems to be the topic at hand. Maybe we need to focus on that rather than a specific breed of dog. And if it is imperative that you pass this ordinance for reasons that I'll never understand, then I would ask that you consider putting it in a referendum, put it on the ballot, and let people vote for it. If a majority of Jasper votes for it and says this is what we need, so be it. In closing, I just want to thank you for your time, and hopefully we don't have to be in the awkward position of choosing between Macy and Jasper. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, we're not taking the dog away. You have your dog, and we're not taking it. even if it comes back to this extra dog, you'll be able to keep that dog.
But we're being penalized because we have to have $100,000 worth of insurance.
The insurance company is going to do that.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying that you can keep, you'll be able to keep your dog.
If you
And
can pay, you can afford
the
it.
insurance is out there through Fido or through Paul's. And so, and no, it's not, from my understanding, not available locally, but it is out there online through Fido's or Paul's, so. Next is Kenneth Conaway. Did he make it in? Okay, so, is April?
She's all
About-
back from Nashville, she hadn't made it back.
Oh, she hadn't made it back, okay. Well, that being said, board, is there anything that
Mr.
you
Mayor?
have to say?
It's my understanding that in public hearings like this, someone else can take someone's place if they're not listed on here. Is that gonna be an effect from this time as well?
Board wants to give Mrs. Turner the extra she ran.
Oh, I would yield it to someone else. I
Oh.
understand there's other people here that have called that were too late to get on
Did, who, I mean,
Mr.
I have a question. It's to Mark Rainey, Mr. Attorney. Mr. Roberts brought up a referendum, possible referendum on the subject. Is it possible?
I have to check with the elections administrator, but I don't think it would be. I don't know what the cost would be, putting that on the ballot, but we're looking at least 2018 would be the soonest that could be brought up.
And the cost, possible cost of that?
I don't know, I would have to check with Ms. Reeves' election office. I mean, it'd have to be printed on the ballot, put on the machines. I have no idea what the cost is. The total cost, I'm sure you can give us, an estimate of what it costs. There are time constraints, though. We would need to know, well enough in advance the time constraints so that, we could let Ms. Reeves know to, make plans and put that space on the ballot and make those arrangements. We have plenty of time from now. I'm not exactly sure. I think the cutoff for the primaries and things like that is probably about 120 days or something like that. And we would have time if that's
is board fine with,
I think she's arresting the Jasper.
Yes, 807 prior code, Peggy Durham, lived there 32 years at prior code. Jessica's lived there 12 plus finding. The whole time, we've never had a problem with her dogs. My dogs would play over her home fence. There's been no problems. But I am kind of curious about how many dogs have you come to or reported, by the police? A pit bull biting somebody, nobody in our neighborhood. If there's been a big deal, I'd like to know it wasn't in the paper or anything. So I was curious about that. How many dogs have been reported or picked up for biting? Nobody knows.
if there's no dog being picked up for biting, but we've had several instances that one dog did attack a neighbor's dog, climbed a 4-foot chain link fence, attacked a neighbor's dog. Mr. Conaway was going to be here to speak about that. Came into his utility room, attacked the dog, and had quite a bit of substantial vet bill that he
Well, then
that
that
he had
person
to
should be
pay,
responsible.
and so.
They own it, not the dog.
But the owners were, they were held liable in court and to pay the bills, but the owners have yet to come across with anything, so.
Just one incident.
Ma'am,
One incident.
there's been
But I've
several.
not heard anything, there's nothing in the paper, so we're all living our little lives there. We
No,
shouldn't
ma'am,
miss something.
we're leaving, we have an animal control officer that keeps a log of that and the call, so, it's, April has a copy of it, or she had requested a copy. He would make a copy and give it to her, so, that, but she did request a copy of the log, and animal control did
Well,
make
I'm
a copy
curious
of
about
it,
it.
so.
Don't hear anybody talking about the dogs.
But he had went on a call up here, a week ago this past Friday, and a guy mowing his yard, are mowing a yard up there on a lawnmower, and a pit bull got
Up where,
aggressive to
Prior
him.
Cove?
Prior Cove,
Where?
right there at the corner of Prior Cove and Mayfair. And the guy called the property owner, told him that he was up there, he had a pit bull up there that was being aggressive to him on the riding mower. And so they called the office, we sent the animal control officer up there. When he got there, nobody's there. The man got his mower gone, the yard wasn't finished mowing, so, you know, it was a gray and white pit bull. You may know who it is, it's in Prior Cove, so. But we haven't found the dog yet, but we do enforce our leash law. When we get a call, and we get a call that there is an animal loose, the animal control officer is sent up there. And he has been sent out at night to answer a call, so, yes, we do have one, they do go on animal calls, so. And we do keep a log of it, so.
Because I've had two dogs chase me in their work pits. Chow and another mare stole.
Had a dog attacked by a boy, but it wasn't a pit.
A chihuahua.
My basset hound would go after
Thank you, Nick Durham.
It goes around,
That
did it come back?
one. Wants to go ahead and anything? I'll entertain a motion to close public hearing.
I just have a question. Who took around the petition? You did? Did you get, did you blanket the whole city? Or did,
No, we haven't been able to cover the house.
We've got as much as possible, but not done to.
No, 'cause I haven't been approached to sign one, but I will.
I asked 15 different people, only one person refused to sign.
While we were going around having these petitions signed, we got to speak with a lot of people. And we did have people that said they did not want to sign it because they were for this law, because they believe that pits are aggressive. But it is not the Pacific breed that is aggressive. Because my son was attacked by a boxer. He had to have surgery on his lip because the boxer tore his lip in two. It was not a pit at the time. Matter of fact, the pit is the one that ran over there to help him. If it wasn't for the pit dog that helped get that dog off of him,
Would you state your name?
Amanda Caldwell.
And your address?
This actually happened on, no, not that time. Over there at Candy's house.
Oh, yeah, right there, down the road by Shop, right, that road, right down that road.
Yeah, right down there on
It's
Pleasant Grove Road, yeah. And he was attacked there by a boxer. If it hadn't been for the pit that came over there, that belonged to the people in that first house there, there's no way we would have been able to get that boxer off of him without that pit's help. So, I mean, to me, it's not the breed of the dog, because I think Chihuahuas are even aggressive than the pits, not just the pits. I think the owners are the ones that are making them aggressive, and I think that we should hold the owners accountable for their actions. Maybe Mark can step in and help y'all do that, and maybe we can go around and take these people's dogs, or have them put down if they are aggressive. But we shouldn't punish all the breeds for that. It is not all pits. My daughter has owned a pit we rescued on the side of the road that had a cliff pallet. Winn-Dixie, she has been the face of Mark forever. She's scared of her own shadow. She would never attack him.
And 6 months ago, was it? Somebody brought me a pit that they picked up in South Pittsburgh. It was scared of everybody. It would not let nobody touch it. It would growl at them. But with me, it found somebody that it could trust, and I made it to where it would love again. Right now, somebody has it in Whitwell. It was skinny, ate up, had fleas so bad. I gave it a bath, I treated it. I taught it to behave. You can save them, even if they are hurt. Because that lady in Whitwell has that dog now, and it's twice the size that it had it 6 months ago. And it loves everybody now. It wouldn't hurt nobody. And there's pictures to prove it.
I have a question about federal laws interacting with this. I have a federally registered service dog through the Registration of Service Dogs of America. She is a bully pet. How does that interact with y'all?
Well, service dogs fall under a different category, man, and in fact, state law exempts those. So it would exempt police dogs, service dog, I'm not sure what kind of service dog you're talking about, if it's like the blind folks or.
She is for severe allergies. She carries around an EpiPen. She is also around my 3 children.
Is she certified by the agency that certifies?
She's
service
certified, there's
dogs?
not a thing Jasper can do about it. Well, I've been through that.
She is registered
It
and
falls under
certified.
the American
Under state
Disabilities
law,
Act,
she
not a
would
damn
be-
thing Jasper
Under
can do.
state law, she would be.
But because of the fact that the government and the registries of all this do not exempt bully pits, does not mean that the owners are responsible for training them
Now,
not to
it
be.
doesn't define what kind of dog is, it has to be exempt under those type laws. You're talking about a situation where there's a disability of some sort, that the dog is
Yes,
assisting
but
or
just
rendering
with the
aid.
breed type being the issue, with her being the breed that y'all are saying are vicious, she's the breed that I depend on saving my life.
She's exempt then. under
I know, I'm
state
talking
law
about for
and-
everybody else that it affects.
Well, I don't know if everybody else has got a service dog or if they've been through the training or anything.
Everybody's about to have one.
But it proves the point that they're not vicious if they're trained right. Right? Like it proves the point that if,
I'm not qualified to make that determination.
okay, that was my question.
Do you think that if this is passed, that you are gonna lose people that's lived here for years, that are gonna move away? Especially ones that have had dogs for years, that's part of their family, that you're wanting to take their dogs out on a muzzle? Do you not think that that's gonna affect this community?
You're just passing a law, you're not gonna enforce it.
No, we're gonna enforce it.
You're not gonna enforce it. Oh, Wayne, you know you're not gonna enforce it because the people here will whip your ass.
We're gonna enforce it.
It will not be enforced. It'll just be like the lease law that's here now. It will not be enforced.
We're not gonna get out of hand with, okay, do I?
Then quit passing a stupid law.
No. Thank you, I appreciate it. We have a motion to close the public hearing. Have a motion, do I have a second? Second. Have a motion second to close the public hearing. The public hearing is now closed. First item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of May 8, 2017. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Have a motion, do I have a second? Have a motion second to approve the minutes of May the 8th, 2017. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The next item on the agenda is ordinance number 376, second and final reading. Do I have a motion to approve? Have a motion, do I have a second? I'll make the second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we're gonna take a couple minutes recess if anyone wants to leave, let's do that, and we've got a lengthy meeting here.
Somebody needs to say something. That's not right.
Back in session. Next item on the agenda, approval of ordinance number 377, budget on first reading. Have it in your packet there.
Make a motion to approve. No
I have one
objection.
question.
Yes, sir.
Is there any possible way that we could put any more funding toward road paving
Yes, sir.
this year?
Yes, sir. Paul and I talked about it today, and Ronnie's in the process of getting us a list together, and we're going to try to up that to $150,000.
That would be wonderful.
And so that would be an additional $50,000 to the payment.
Will this ordinance include that, or will that be on the next reading?
It'll be on the next reading, so we were talking about that today, and so we'll be coming back in 2 weeks for the public hearing and meeting on it, and also the budget amendment that we want to have ready, so.
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, I second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the budget for the fiscal year 2016, or 17-18, and the amount of, let me get my glasses on here. Yeah. And amount of $2,052,600 in the general fund. Have a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next item is approval of a contract between the city and Southeast Tennessee Development District for our planning services. It's, since the state had stopped doing that, we've been contracting with the Southeast Tennessee Development District for that service. It amounts to $8,000 for the contract. It's a 2-year contract, $8,000 a year. Make a motion approved. Have a motion, do I have a second? Seconded. Have a motion to second approve the contract with Southeast Tennessee Development District for planning services. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next is personnel. Chief Mason, you want to address this, please?
Yeah, we had Nathan Billings, which resigned his position here and went to Crossroads. We took a few applications, and one of the applicants was Chris Brown, which already works with us part-time. So we just decided that he already works with us, paperwork's been done, we just promote him on to full-time. That's what my recommendation is.
So you feel he's the best choice?
He's the best choice.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Next, did Coleman Slatton make it? No. And Coleman wanted to address the street issue. And next is Paul, I turn it over to you.
Chris, you think with some help, you can get that things cleaned up over there and get things back on track?
Yes, I mean, I think all the help I can get to do anything we need to do over there.
We kind of behind here in the way of volunteer fire department. For the last 30 years or so, you can't get volunteers for anything, much less a fire department. And we need everybody we can get. We've had some work sessions, and I realize y'all are volunteers. One thing I'd remind you, in the United States, if you think about mama and apple pie and baseball and all that, well, right up there on the top of it's fire departments. It's as American as you can get. And you go in a fire department, people expect, even volunteers, you expect a certain level of service. And I'm not saying spit shine the place because you're not full-time, you can't do that, but there is a certain level of service expected. And I was disappointed over there the night of the Christmas parade. I had the questions where the holes came from in the ceiling, the bathroom door looks like it's been kicked when it was locked. Just a general, I guess the bottom line is, we wouldn't tolerate the condition of the fire hall in any other departments, even paid people. You're a fine man, you and your friends, we'll be friends when we leave here as far as I'm concerned. And I know you're up against it as far as trying to get volunteers and recruiting. But there's gotta be more we can do over there. The board has talked about some ideas. I've got about 8, 9 people now that want to join the fire department. They're not sure whether they want to join because, you know, they drive by, nobody's ever there. Some have seen inside and they say, well, you know, the place is a disaster, so why do we want to join something? We're wasting time. I've got one guy that would come in today and start cleaning. But he wants to know that his efforts as a volunteer, you know, are appreciated. If this board is in agreement, I'll help you any way I can. I'll try to bring some people in. I moved back here in 2000. I was gone for 20 years, but I moved back here because I wanted to bring back and give something to the town. I spent 38 years in it, 20 of it paid, military and civilian, law enforcement forever. It's the only things I know. Don't ask me to fix your car, don't ask me to build your house, but I can't do it. I'm offering to help try to resolve this volunteer problem and help you out. You're the fire chief. I don't want you to feel like, because I sit on this board, well, I gotta watch everything I'm doing. He's looking over my shoulder. I'm not looking over my shoulder. I wanna see the membership go up. I wanna see people over there, and, you know, if he can get you a TV or whatever, you know, have nights and just have the volunteers in for something, you know, cook them supper, do something. If that's agreeable to the board, we can work with him. We've talked about this for about 4.5 years, and it really hadn't improved, but there again, you can't get volunteers for anything, but there's some incentives I think we could look at. Maybe talk about, maybe start paying, offering some pay per call.
That is in our budget.
We need to get y'all some insurance. VFIS sells it. I think the last policy we had was $1,500 a year for the city to pay. Workman's comp is nothing to count on if you guys get hurt out there fighting a fire, but VFIS offers a policy that will pick up your income where you left off if you get hurt on a fire. I can tell you from experience, you can't live on 66 2/3% if you get hurt out there for the city of Jasper. So we need to look at getting that supplemental income insurance for volunteers. We had it at one time over there. If it's all right with the board and okay with you, I'll work with you, do anything I can to help you. I'll try to talk to these people that think, you know, they might be wasting their time. You know, it takes somebody special to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go fight a fire, and then you gotta be at your regular job at 6 o'clock. If that's okay with the board, we'll work with him. We'll work with them. See if we can get the membership up and offer some kind of incentive, get people back in over there and keep them over there. I just want the board to, you know, if that's okay with y'all, and we can, and tell if you need something over there, tell us. I'll help you clean the place up. I've got people I think that will do that. And if it's turnout gear, pagers, or whatever, you know, get with us and we'll do what we can. I think that goes a long ways toward getting help in there sometimes too, because people look, if you're running, you know, the city, Jasper historically has not been real a strong supporter of the fire department, and that goes back 40, 50 years. And I think we probably need to step up the plate a little bit as a board. One of the things we do, I'll put this on record right now, we've got a 46-year-old piece of fire apparatus over there we need to replace. I don't think there's going to be no need to raise taxes or anything to do it, but we don't run 46-year-old police cars or anything like that. So if the board is in agreement with this, we'll work with Chris and his guys and see what we can do to to help them out over there. Do y'all have anything you wanna add to this?
I'll add, first of all, the board is going to work with Chris any way we can. We've expressed that interest in a work session and what have you in the budget situation. I've told him, but I don't want our chief to feel like somebody is looking over his shoulder. I really don't want that. We're taking steps to improve our fire department. We're hoping that by paying, the $10 per call will increase our participation. And at one time, we did have a good fire department. We've had, most of our police department has been through our fire department at one time. Part of Kimball's has been in it at one time. So I want to make sure that we give the fire department all the resources that they need to protect this town. But by the same token, a 46-year-old fire truck is not the same situation as a 46-year-old police car. 46-year-old police car will have about 2 million miles or better. 46. How many miles does that fire truck have on it, Chris? How many hours do you?
The ladder truck is in the question.
Is it the ladder
The
truck?
ladder truck's the one that's 46 years old. I'd have to go look. I don't know off the top of my head how many hours are on it.
I think, if whatever we have out there, we budgeted for turnout gear in this budget, for some turnout gear, we can start doing that on a regular basis. Now that we've been made aware that we have enough turnout gear, but it's different sizes because over the years, people don't come in to fit your uniforms and your turnout gear. But we have to do with what we have because we have excess over there that we're not using now, but that have used. And so we made that commitment. He's checking with 911 about the pager system versus the phone. We may have to do the pager and the phone, but we're in the process of giving him the resources. And I think if we need to sit down and look at a new fire truck, then that's what we need to do. And that will, when the chief comes and said, hey, it's time that we need to start looking at a fire truck, we need to start looking at a fire truck. They're the ones in it every day. And they are volunteers, and, for them to get out here in the middle of the night, plus working a job, and that's the reason I encourage employees, Town of Jasper employees, I'm encouraging them to participate. And we have one, I think, that is on our fire department. I wish several of them, because they can get there when they're on duty, they can get there quicker. They can at least have the trucking routes or trucks, whatever. So, but I tell you what I'd like to see is how many times have we used that aerial truck since we've had it, and what kind of mileage and hours on each truck. Years, mileage, and hours that get to me, so I can get each board member that we can start looking at that. Because we are trying to improve our town. I think in the last 4.5 years that you've been on this board and I've been on this board and we've been together, we've made a lot of improvements in this town that's been for the better. And I want to continue doing that, and I think that we're getting to the financial condition that we can do that. And, I really do. You look at that loan we refinanced, that's gonna save the town $600,000 over, the 12-year period there. So that right there is where we can bring your money, and we got new business, got 2 new businesses opened up in town. We've got another one that's fixing to build, and they're gonna petition the town to be annexed into the town, since we can't do the annexation by vote. They have to petition. So we're trying to improve and improve our town, our sales tax is up, and it's because of, you know, what we have to offer here and the business that are moving in here. And Family Dollar is fixing to open back up, which is gonna be another increase to our tax base. So, you know, I think we all wanna do what you were saying here. We all wanna do what we're saying. And, if you can get that information and have it to me, I'll get it, to them just as soon as you get it in.
That's the meeting, I'll want to get the information and get it to you either tonight after your second meeting or first thing in the morning, I'll have it in your office.
Yeah. And I tell you, I have the utmost confidence in our fire department. And, you know, and so.
Let's talk, the $10, let's make sure we're on the same page for this. You saying $10 per call or $10 per hour that they're out?
Per call. It's just like Kimball's doing. Kimball does the same thing. I talked to Jeff about it, and they do $10 per call.
So that's where, I got my information from Jeff Kimball, and
If you're out there 7 or 8 hours, you're only gonna get $10?
that's, I mean, it's paid per call, I mean, you know.
And it's over the course of a year, so if we have a, you know, 100 calls times 10, you know.
Most volunteer paid programs I've seen, it's like $10 an hour for the first hour, or you're there 5 minutes an hour, then maybe it's $8.50 an hour.
That's what South Pittsburgh does that, they pay $10 for the first 2 hours, then after that, it's like $8 an hour thereafter.
I want you, you know, the budget, I mean, there's not that many calls a year in Jasper, so I want y'all to get the most you can get. I mean, if I'm out there 8 hours, you know, you can keep your $10 as far as the city goes.
Well, we're looking at taking baby steps with this, you know, we don't want to break the city, you know.
You've got to start. I mean, we have not, haven't done anything, and, you know, and so you've got to start, and this is the first step.
It just needs to be worthwhile. If we're gonna pay them, it needs to be, you know, something attractive. I'm not saying, you know, $35 an hour.
And, you know, we basically.
You're out there all night long.
Yeah, we're basing off what Kimball does, and I know they give their check out at their Christmas dinner, so it's sort of like a, you know, 1 year bonus, you know, like Christmas type bonus to the guys, so, you know, it seems that it works well with them, you know, and we might have to tweak it as we go on with it, but, you know, that's a start for us and then the guys in the fire department.
Mr. Mayor, can I say something, please? Can I say something, please?
Yes, ma'am. State your name.
Yvonne Wilson.
Okay.
And Pauline, I'm sure you remember, around Easter, my grandson was injured here at the park. And when your grandson's injured, you start looking for help. The fire department was dark, and we were panicked. We had nowhere to turn for help. It would have really been a real comfort to my family that night if we had had somebody to see us immediately and get an ice pack on that baby's head. So I think that you should understand that it's more than fires. We need more than fires for that fire department. The community needs a presence. And I know it's not easy, I'm not saying, but we do need to find a way to get people that would, at least on a weekend, have that place lit up, because that's when families are out there enjoying that park. And I think that we should think about that, and that is a need, because it sure would have been a big comfort to me that night if I'd had someone to go to that knew what to do. Thanks.
Thank you. You have anything else? Okay. Next item on the agenda is our report, and the first one is Ms. Carolyn. Ms. Carolyn's not feeling well, and so you have your report in front of you, and if you want me to read it, I can, but I'll just give the stats that total circulation 5,378, computer users 657, wireless users 665, new cars issued 14, people count 4,251, reference questions 242, and you can see on the back of her balance for the library fund that she has there. So next item on the agenda is our Parks and Recreation. Justin.
rec season has just wrapped up and All-Stars has started. The new playground is up, and we've had quite a bit of positive feedback. The biggest need, though, so far is getting the fence up and more benches. Trees did fall in the park during one of the last storms, and not part of that hitting that. Just want to let everybody know we're working on getting that fixed and getting it back up. And then Co-Ed League starts tomorrow with 6 teams. It will run through the month of July. We will also have a fall league for softball and baseball, which will begin in September. We're expecting over 20 teams, and we will play on Monday and Tuesday nights and end with a tournament. It'll be a closed league and run through October, which that means all games will be played here in Jasper. And I also would like to thank Shane Moses and Roger Lane for coaching 2 all-star teams this year that will be playing the Dizzy Dean State. And then right now, another thing we have on the schedule, we'll have the Valley Middle School tournament will be September 30th in the ballpark. Animal control report, we had 7 animal calls this month. 1 was picked up. Animals returned to owner is 0. Animals impounded are 3, which one of them is ours, one of them is Kimball's, and one of them is Mark organization. So, thank you.
Okay, now, did you want to ask the board about or did Shane and?
I would. I was gonna wait till afterwards, but that'd be fine out, that's fine with you.
Now, yeah, I mean.
One thing we've done in the past is, we've always helped our teams, all-star teams that agreed to play in states for nationals. I know when I coached a team, y'all were able to help me. And all I'm asking for is $100 for the softball team and $150 for the baseball team. That will pay their state's entry fee. That's all that'll pay.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion and a second to approve $100 for softball.
And $150 for
$150
baseball.
for baseball. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
I have a question about Parks and Recreation. What do we determine about basketball?
But we're gonna approach that next month. We're still looking into things. We've still getting prices on the tennis courts, starting to get resurfaced, and we're looking at a couple of different spots. And as the park board, we requested, I talked to the mayor, we want to all meet together and get to the right location on that, if that's all right.
Thank you, Justin. Next, Ronnie, street sanitation.
All right, for the month of May, we picked up 130.48 tons of garbage at a total fee of $3,783.92. We're cutting grass at the library and the city hall, changed 3 street lamps around the square. 1 had to have a new photo cell. We've been spraying weed killer downtown and around, and picking up brush when we can, patching potholes when we can. We just changed 1 traffic light for the month of May, which is unusual. We've been watering the plants around the square 2 or 3 times a week, and we've done some work in the city park over at the playground.
Okay, thank you, Ronnie. Next is Chris Fire.
For the month of May, we had 8 fire calls. The people from 7th Avenue School called us wanting to take an engine up on their field day, take hoses off and sort of spray the kids down there because they've been out playing all day long, so we've done that. And that's pretty much been our May.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Next item is Chief.
Here, for the month of May, we had a total of 325 calls. We wrote 32 criminal citation arrests. We had 39 traffic offenses for a total of 71. We had 4 roadway crashes. We had 1 roadway crash with injury and 9 private property.
Thank you, Chief.
Did you really bring up this vehicle replacement?
I did.
Well, that's for information. We're here waiting on the, checking about the SUV versus the Ford, and are you getting a price on the Dodge, or I mean, compare?
We did, there's like, for the Dodge Durango, there's $2,000 more than a Ford car for us. It's 25 something for the Ford cars and 27 for the Dodge Durango. But the Durango with the Dodge, the warranty is a whole lot better than it is with the Ford.
And we're gonna have to have one in the in the budget this year because of the accident.
You've been satisfied with the Durangos, haven't you?
Yes, sir. And the price, by the middle of July, he said the price was gonna go up because of new 18s come out, so. I think it's like 33 total pack. That's good, with all the lights and everything, the whole pack.
Fully equipped.
And it's got the best warranty out there.
Will that be in the new budget?
That is in new budget, yeah. So
Can you
just-
lock in that,
I can
the
look at
current
that price.
price between now and when we pass the budget?
Won't pass the budget.
Yeah. Tell you what.
So
You gotta pass it before July first.
Yeah, we got 22nd, we'll be back 22nd is, already been posted in the both papers,
I'll let the mayor, I'll call him tomorrow to see when they're coming out. He just said the middle of July to August, so to lock in that price, there will be an increase.
June 22nd.
yeah. It'll be our budget amendment and to pass this on second reading. So we have everything in place by July 1st.
Which if I can. Because I don't know if he has one on the lot. I'll call him tomorrow.
Get it all tomorrow. So, okay, does anybody else have anything to brought for the board? Stand adjourned. Okay.
They just, they're right in there, they just passed it right on.